Hey, did you guys see this posted all over social media?
What is that?
Airstrikes in the last 48 hours.
It was a graphic that said condemn war everywhere, and it showed like all these other airstrikes that are happening at the same time.
Whoa.
37 Saudi airstrikes in Yemen, exactly. U.S. airstrike in Somalia.
Syria.
Israeli airstrike in Damascus. Dozens of Russian airstrikes in Ukraine. Yeah, so everyone's just talking about one thing.
Wow.
Like what we've been talking about the whole fucking time.
Who's responsible for all those other airstrikes?
The United States.
All of them?
Just about.
Yeah.
But are we protecting democracy and
Yemen? We are protecting the Saudis' interests in wanting to destroy the fuck out of Yemen. So that's what's going on with it.
Because Saudis are friends because we buy oil from them.
So this graphic went around, man, and a bunch of leftist political pages and IGs were just reposting the crap out of this, and then now they're all pissed.
Only leftist? Interesting.
They're all pissed because this was a Kremlin-made image.
Really?
The Russian government created this to get the attention off of just Russia and Ukraine.
It's like, look, you guys been doing this. I mean, that is the Russian narrative, right? It's kind of like the West always comes in with the idea of like, we're trying to save democracy, but then...
Yeah, but then also I guess Russia plays a big role in the bombings in Syria as well.
Absolutely.
Even though it's Kremlin made, is it all true though?
Yes.
It is, but
But it takes away
They're
from the effort
trying-
in Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
But that okay, that's such a misnomer anyway, because the Ukraine's being talked about so much already. If anything, the wars in Yemen are not being talked about at all.
oh yeah, that's one of the.
And in the Middle East and anything that happens in Africa, like, no one gives a fuck. Like, it's sad because there's millions of people that have died and have gone forgotten because the Western media just doesn't cover it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, if they do, they always cover it in a way where it's like, we're out there fighting terrorism.
Look at Israel, bro. Israel bombs the absolute shit out of the Palestinians, and how do we cover it? Self-defense. Good for them.
Fighting terrorism.
Every time. Every time.
yeah,
It's such a touchy subject, though, because they've been warring for so fucking long.
Especially with all this stuff in Syria, it's been happening for so long, right?
Yeah, and I mean, and Russia went into Syria and took out ISIS themselves. So it's like,
And we were allied with ISIS in Syria.
Yeah.
We were with the Al Qaeda.
yeah, not ISIS.
Yeah, not ISIS in Syria.
Well, during the Cold War.
No, recently we were
really?
allied with Al Qaeda in Syria.
Damn.
But not officially. We were just fighting on the same side.
Oh, against
Common enemy against Assad.
It always flips back and forth and stuff. What's weird to me is like, okay, so right now there's this whole war shit, right? And they're talking about, how we basically gotta suffer with the gas prices and whatever. We're still buying gas from Iran. We're still buying gas from like these countries that I'm like, should we really be buying energy from and Russia?
Yeah.
I'm like, Russia has that pipeline that goes to Germany, and it was like, during Trump's administration, there was this one clip that's been going around of Trump basically talking to the dude in Germany like, hey, isn't it a conflict of interest if you're a part of NATO and all of your energy is coming from Russia? What if something happens here and you guys are getting energy from Russia, but then you have to punish them?
Yep.
So it's like, and then now it's kind of unfolding, right? We see Germany actually now throwing in like weapons to help Ukraine and all that. But then for me, I'm like, this is weird because why are we doing business or buying oil and having a dependency from countries that we're supposed to be looking at as enemies? Isn't that fucking weird?
It's gone to the point where Elon Musk yesterday just tweeted about how we need to ramp up, and he said, I hate to say this, but we need to ramp up oil production in America.
That's actually the solution because
They can't spin up EV.
yeah.
That's the problem, right? Just to complete his thought, they can't just all of a sudden have enough support with solar and wind and all that stuff to make up for what we're doing with oil.
And it's not as efficient, right?
With Elon's point, though, if we did that, we don't have to buy from Iran and all these other countries. We don't have to make them rich if we just crank up the production of oil ourselves. But what's happening there where we don't just crank it up here?
It's against look,
Environmentalist.
there's a lot of
issue?
environmental interests about it, which I'm not saying I'm for or against. I'm just saying I understand the realities of like our situation right now and the need to tap into our our ability to produce oil in the United States because of all these externalities.
Is that why
do you
there's
want to help Russia finance their war? That's how they're paying for the war right now is with
Yeah.
oil money. So we need oil right now. So you're making their oil more valuable.
Is that why everyone's fighting over like what's more important, climate change or winning this war? Because this whole new argument has been fucking weird to me. It's like, why are people talking about global warming? Like, if we're not gonna have a world to worry about global warming and shit. Like,
You can walk and chew gum at the same time, though, right? So it's like if you really believe in something and you want to like maybe iterate your production towards a certain thing, I can understand that, but it's about accepting reality sometimes too. So it's like, hey, because we can produce all these green energy alternatives, the yield's not there yet. So you have to start looking at reality.
Yeah.
And so,
because the reality is right now we don't have the technological like capabilities right this minute to do it. So we still rely on.
Or just to
Fossil
the infrastructure to stop completely doing something else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Things are
Yeah, it's got to happen at the same time, right? Like upping the oil production in America in order to like sustain that moment, but also reducing the consumption of oil in America at the same time by using things like EV and alternatives.
would be great.
Yeah.
But even when you use EV, what are you doing, right? You're plugging it in the wall. So
Right.
you're using coal. So it's like there's just so much going on. Like it's not just a easy like, hey, this just fixes all that. Like EV equals more coal being burned. So
Yeah.
They should have elected me for the Department of Energy. Because
Aren't you the officer of the interior of
It hurt when you lost. It hurt when you lost that campaign.
I thought he was running for politics.
Joe's running for politics. If you guys want to see the campaign ad too, it's really
Too
really good.
specific.
Dude, Joe's running for everything, man. He's taking over.
nothing but RAM, baby. Nothing but RAM. But no, seriously, guys. Like, I think I'm gonna run for the Department of Energy.
You should.
Because we are in an energy crisis, and if we're gonna depend on so many countries that violate human rights and stuff, I'm like, why should we make them rich, right? Now, there's an unlimited source of energy that we're not tapping into.
Campfires.
Don't.
what in the actual fuck?
You have my full attention.
I don't know. I was guessing.
No. How are campfires unrenewable again?
Oh Jesus. That's all, huh?
Here's the thing, okay? What do they say is always causing the fucking ozone layer to fucking
Cow farts.
exactly right? Farts, gas, methane from the human and animals all over the body. Now I watched Matrix and I said, if we could use human batteries, right?
It's good.
We can use human fart. We're gonna power our country for farting and capturing the energy of those gases from every household in America.
Every household. We just need Texas to be involved, and we're good. What are you talking?
That's true. Everything is bigger in Texas.
Everything's well, yeah.
Don't some of those South American countries, they got those giant fucking blimps that they're just burning shit and like trash, and they're able to use that as a way to power stuff?
Oh yeah, like in that one Netflix documentary that had the Zac Efron dude.
His name is Zac Efron.
That's what it is.
Zac Efron, dude.
What's his name? That's Zac Efron, dude.
I was like, who's the Zac Efron guy?
Yeah, he went to one of those little communities and they had those giant tanks where everybody's fucking feces and farts, not just farts, but like feces and stuff goes in there.
But yeah, if we could do more of that shit.
What about burps? Where does burps fall into?
I would collect
Funny.
it all.
Joe has this extreme view where he would collect all of it,
Wow.
no matter how you do it.
That's pretty crazy.
You know how Elon has this dream, right? Of like the solar shit, and then you can install it in your house, and that not only powers your house, but then it has an excess of electricity, and it goes into, right? then you
And
need
also
to,
has a nice Tesla logo on it.
Yeah.
You know what about that Black Mirror episode? And I always honestly thought that this was would make a lot of sense. You remember that one episode where everybody's like cycling for energy,
Classic.
right? There's so much. I'm not saying so much like it would power the entire fucking country, but like there's so many people that do use human energy and expense that, cycling, running, or whatever. If there was a way to harness that physical exercise and just turn it into something, I feel like
I wish it would work, but it's not that good. Like dam, for example, having a dam is way more beneficial to people.
Yeah, the Hoover Dam. You guys should go to the Hoover Dam and go to the Hoover Dam tour and understand the fucking magnitude of that shit, how much electricity it provides for Southern California, the desert cities, all this shit, Nevada, all those states, just from that one
I'm
little fucking
just
dam.
saying people are exercising, okay?
Yeah, he's trying to spread a positive
Good
message.
that they're exercising.
No, that this had to do with the Hoover Dam.
We just have to harness the kinetic energy of the people touring the Hoover Dam.
Oh.
Yeah, because some malls, they got that tile. They have that tile that every time you step on it, right? And it produces power on the other end.
Oh, there you go.
So what we need to do is create new homes where they have exercise bikes, fart hole suckers.
Yeah, fart hole suckers.
Gas suckers.
Sounds like a band.
Fart hole suckers.
Fart and burp hole suckers, I hope.
And we need to make it like a collective war effort. Like, you know, when there's a drought, right? They go, if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow. Right?
Says that during droughts?
Not rich people.
Really?
No.
They taught us this.
Well, yeah, we do it, but the rich people don't.
What about a flashlight that has a battery on the other end?
I knew this was
So
going to
you could
happen.
jack,
I was waiting.
jack
I
it
was
up,
waiting for the
you
masturbation
jack yourself off, and then you charge up a battery and you can use this to power.
If they could harness the power
Of masturbation.
of masturbation,
They can.
yo, we would be overpowered.
They already have that. It's an attachment that goes into your Prius where the tailpipe would be.
Oh.
It's just
Do
a
you guys,
flashlight.
but don't you guys think it's a little too OP?
It is like everything would blow up.
it needs a.
It needs a
Yeah.
It's too
We don't want
OP.
too much power.
Yeah. People are going to use it too much.
Oh yeah, so this is another little thing, but that image of the airstrike thing that was posted the day of the invasion by Redfish, that company that is responsible for all these posts. But one thing that's crazy, and I didn't know this, but you guys remember remember RT?
Yeah, of course.
Russia Today.
Russia Today.
The production company that runs RT America shut down and laid off all its employees on Thursday.
What?
Yeah.
Well, didn't they get blocked by Facebook? Or
Everything's
whatever?
getting blocked, yeah.
If it's the Russian message,
crazy.
it's getting blocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Russia just shut down Facebook?
In their country, yeah.
Wait, what came first? Did Russia block Facebook or did Facebook block itself from in Russia?
I think Facebook blocked Russian media.
Oh.
Not Russians, but then
Russia
Russian.
said that's unfair. We are now blocking
Russian media. Yeah.
That's like you can't fire me, I quit.
I like that
Works every
Ukraine
time.
was asking for internet for like Starlink or whatever, right? And then because all their infrastructure's all fucked up, and then Elon's like, done.
That's pretty cool.
And he still kept it real with the updates. He's like, in these areas, some of them have gone down, blah blah blah. But like, the link or whatever has already been patched. Let us know how it's going. Excited to see how this works.
Listen, the idea that we have to protect people from the perspectives of others because they won't be able to make up their own minds is nuts.
Yeah.
And that just makes me believe in like there's just a police state mentality going on where everyone just wants everyone to think one thing and the other thing should be banned. Always should be wrong, no matter what. Like, I don't care what the fuck's going on.
I know, because I feel like I'm, reasonable enough to see both sides, and I think that I'm past the idea of we're good guys, they're bad guys. Like, I know that all fucking states are hungry for power. And so, why can't we listen to the different narratives to figure out what is the motive between these two great nations that are trying to consolidate power, essentially, is what it is.
I'm just glad that U.S. imperialism's done for. They haven't tried to do anything.
That doesn't even exist because it's always been for democracy and moral victory.
Liberating people.
That's why you're running for politics, man.
Good, I hope you win. And it's like, hey, that's a swish for Joe, right through the rim.